Welcome back to Surface Rust Garage. I'm going to have a couple videos coming to you here soon, so if you see this introduction twice, you are not going crazy.
Editor me here. I just realized that every one of these clips was filmed vertically. I'm sorry.
Okay, here's a brief overview of everything we're going to be using for this service. I have 4 quarts of Valvoline automatic transmission fluid with a rating of MATIC S, a Wix 57356 XP oil filter. I have Valvoline high mileage 10W40 with a rating of SP or better, and a Wix 46116 air filter, and oil filter wrench, some gloves, and a grease gun to grease up my Zerk fittings for my ball joints. Now, your Xterra may not have the Zerk fittings to grease your ball joints. When I rebuilt my front end, I did add those, so don't worry about that if you don't have them. It's not a big deal. Most people won't. Other tools you'll need is a ratchet with a 14mm socket for your oil drain plug and a 19mm socket for your ATF drain plug. To remove your air filter, all you have to do is remove the clips from the air box as shown here. There's 4 of them. All you do is simply take them and you pop them down. You lift up on your air box as such here. It doesn't need to come up super far. Sorry, handing over the camera. You slide out the old air filter. This one's dirty. I usually change them out every other oil change. So here's the old one. Listen in the new one. Put the cover back on. It could be a little bit of a pain to finagle it back on there, but it's not a huge deal. Press the cover back on. Snap the clips back in. And that's all you'll need for the air filter. Alright, here's your oil filter, your oil drain plug, and your ATF drain plug. Alright, next up, you're going to take your 14mm socket, break loose your oil drain plug, then use your hands, simply remove it, and allow it to drain out. Once it's completely drained, stop stripping, take a rag, clean it up, put your plug back in, and then just give it a little snug. Alright, next up you'll take your oil filter wrench and loosen your oil filter. Be careful when taking this off because oil will drain out of it. Now, all of this is doable on the ground if you don't have access to a lift. I've done it, and it's really not that hard, especially if you're not doing the transmission fluid. But even if you are, it's still not that hard, just a little bit further under the vehicle. Just make sure you're doing it on a flat surface. Alright, once this is finished draining, just take a rag or a towel and clean that area up a little bit before you put your new filter back on. Next thing you're going to do is measure out half a quart of oil, which is 16 fluid ounces, and then you're going to pre-fill your oil filter. It's very important that you do so. Some people say it's not, but you should. And then take a little bit of oil and rub it on that black gasket that you see to help prevent it from drying out before you reinstall it. Once you get all that done, simply take your oil filter, thread it back onto the quart, and then just install it hand tight. Once you get it twisted on there and you can't tighten it anymore by hand, that's all you need. That's perfect. Next up, take your 19mm socket, break free the drain plug for your ATF. It's important to note that I'm only doing a drain and fill, which is 4 quarts of transmission fluid. I am not flushing my transmission. So once you get that broken free, simply remove the bolt. It might be a little tight, especially if you've driven the vehicle. The bolt's going to be hot. You let that drip free, then you'll put the plug back in, and you'll refill it.
So how much? Okay. So it's okay for this one. It's 3.5 quarts to fill it back up with the filter.
You're using your measuring cup to do that.
Yep. All right, you got the first bit of the half quart in there with the filter.
Nice.
And I'll do this 3 more times with the. Just do a full 32 ounces, 4 cups, which is a quart.
Nice.
Now it's important to note that I like to use the measuring cup if I have to measure out something like a half quart, or if I'm pouring out of the 5 quart jugs like this. If you're using the 1 quart jugs, it's not as big of a deal.
4 more cups. Makes life easy.
As long as I don't trip on the lift.
And that's how he died.
Yeah, the force valve makes it super nice.
Drip underneath there, but it's not bad. Might have to go a little faster.
I had to get the angle because I couldn't really see it.
Right.
And then just do this 2 more times.
So here's just a quick picture of where your transmission fill port is.
Tight. Yeah, go slow. Seems like it'll be fine. It's been there tight. That little tab thing down there is kind of holding it in place.
Gotcha.
See what I mean? It's kind of cool that the dipstick actually has a lock tab to keep it from moving or coming out.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of cool. I don't see anything like that right up. Thanks, Nissan.
At least you did something right, unlike that alternator.
Yeah. Garbage.
Leave that in there to drip out while I open up the next bottle. We got 3 more bottles to go.
Alright, then here's just greasing up the ball joints and the steering arm.
Two and a half squirts.
Now we have the eyes arm. Where? Where is it? Should be right here.
Yeah, I'm in a position where I can't see.
Yep. Literally right where I'm pointing at. Right there. Your finger's on it.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
I don't know if that's enough to get to it. Might have to turn the wheel.
Yeah, you're gonna have to turn the wheel.
You got to get the sound of how bad it was taking before, but it sounds good now. Right. So then the last thing is the oil catch can. Looks like a little bit of oil on it, but it could be just old stuff. Still a little warm, but not bad. It's actually quite hot, but I'm used to burning myself, so that's okay. And I have this one hooked into over here on the manifold. So
This is the inlet. This is the return.
So we call a little bit of blow by. So just prevents that from going back into the motor.
Yep. Not a bad deal.
Nope. Easy. Cool.
This is a nice little upgrade for you guys.
Yeah, super cheap off Amazon. Then I just have it hooked up to mounted a little firewall back there. So that's the bracket that it came with. I mounted it to the stock spot back here, then hooked it up sideways, and it works.
Editor me again. I realized I forgot to do an outro, so thanks for watching. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll try to do better next time. Bye.